Salt Lake homeowners, what do they ask all the time? When is the best time to sell, and for how much money can I sell my home for? Hi, I'm Utah Dave, principal broker of Go-Be Realty. I've sold over 3,000 homes here in Salt Lake area. The selling process is pretty standard, but there are a lot of nuances and things to consider when selling your home here in Salt Lake area. So we'll go over some of those things in this video to make your selling process a breeze. The first step is getting your home ready for sale. We need to talk. We need to go over some of the specifics about your home, some of the features about your home, and be able to see what price range your home could sell for. Then we are going to go through your home. Once we go through your home, we're going to come up with ideas for you on how you can make your home more valuable. And if you just want to sell it as is, we can give you tips on how you can sell your home quicker in an as-is value. Having sold hundreds of homes that other real estate agents can't sell, we have created a process and we know exactly what your home needs in order to sell in today's market. Every market's different. You can't do the same thing in every single market. For example, last year when home pricing was decreasing, if you tried to fix up your home, by the time you fixed it up, home prices were down so low that it didn't even make sense that you fixed it up, because you were going to end up with the same price anyway. In that type of environment, we really want to go for a quick as-is sold price because you're going to make more money. Today, in 2023, the market is one where the majority of people either want a new home or something remodeled because interest rates are so high. They need a benefit of why they're buying a new home. And that benefit is good. It's already remodeled or it's already newer. Another thing you need to do, you have to analyze the competition and see what you're up against. Analyzing the competition is a big deal, not just looking at the sold data. You have to know how many homes are on the market and how many buyers are out there looking for those homes. Once we have prepared your home, once we've analyzed the market and we've come up with a strategy to sell your home, now we're going to the list time and marketing your home for sale. A common question that a lot of people ask is, what's the best way to market a home? Well, open houses have been around for decades. That was the number one way for people to get exposure if they didn't want to advertise it in the newspaper. Well, times have changed. And guess what? There is a problem with open houses. The first problem is we are in a day and age where people are slammed busy. They have stuff to do. It's convenient for the seller to set up a time, but it's inconvenient for the buyer. The second problem is location. In Salt Lake Valley, there's a lot of areas that aren't as good for open houses. The third problem is buyers today like to be anonymous. When I first got into the business, people told me I had to do traditional open houses. What I realized in looking at the data is that open houses didn't sell homes. After reading a few books that talked about if you do what the masses do, you're going to get those average results. I knew that there had to be a way that would sell the home for more money. That's when we came up with the 24/7 open house. I only get pre-approved good buyers that can go through your home, and I have their contact info. I can follow up. Because we know who people are and because we can solve problems, we are able to put deals together. So we put a system where we could actually get people into your house whenever they wanted on a moment's notice. And that has been gold for our sellers. 2021 was crazy. Anyone could sell anything at any price. In 2023, in order to get the most money for your home, you have to put together the right strategy to sell your home. You have to market it properly, and you have to do every little step right. Your home's not selling, it's either the agent's fault or the seller's fault. It's the seller's fault if the seller is stuck on a certain price. It's also if the seller only wants to let people in if it's convenient. It also could be the seller's fault if they are not keeping the house looking like a model home. If you're keeping the house looking good, if you are letting everybody in whenever they need to see it, you have it at a reasonable price, then we'll look to see if it's the agent's fault. Well, the agent's fault could be they don't know how to analyze the market properly. They don't know how to put together a good strategy. They aren't answering any sort of inquiry on your home fast enough. The big problem with why some homes don't sell is that agents are not getting feedback feedback on the home. But there's been many times that we have sold our home because when we got the feedback, we were able to resolve an issue and solve a problem. Once you get an offer that both the buyer and seller agree on and it's signed and executed, it is under contract. Now, normally what's going to happen next is you have inspections, appraisal, and financing. These are two areas where you may have to renegotiate. Now, there is a loophole with Utah law that most people don't understand. That loophole is the appraisal and finance deadline. A buyer can back out for any reason at all. People are supposed to resolve all of their concerns by the inspection deadline. But after the inspection deadline, if they don't like something and they're asking you to fix it, you may have no choice because they can still cancel due to finance and appraisal. So how do you solve that? Well, one of the ways to solve that is making sure that your deadlines are not far out. So you can figure everything out with inspection and appraisal and financing. You should be able to move that up in today's market into 2 weeks. There's two common misconceptions when it comes to the appraisal. Whatever the appraisal is what the home is worth. An appraisal is actually an opinion of value. There are numerous appraisers that have difference of opinions. So the problem with this misconception is that a buyer may say to the seller, this is what the appraisal came in at. Now you need to lower the price. And I had a strategy to help them be able to fight that appraisal and still sell their home for what we originally sold it for. The second misconception is that you can only do one appraisal on the house. Well, this is true if you have an FHA loan. When it comes to other loans, such as conventional, you can get more than one appraisal on the house. Then it comes time to move into the home after you've signed the paperwork. Well, here's a problem that I often see happen. When you go and sign paperwork at a title company, it is called settlement. Most people call it closing. The real term is settlement. Closing isn't until it funds and records. So this gets confusing without a real estate agent that can explain it to the buyer of when you'll actually get possession of the property. For over 20 years, our buyers and sellers have used our free moving vans to be able to load their stuff up and move into their new home. So when should you sell and how much? Well, the answer isn't always the same for every single person. The market is hottest in April and May, and things start to slow down. If they want to try to wait till October, they might not sell their home. Some homes in October, it takes till January for them to sell. So it always depends on the situation of where your home is, what your price range is, and what is the timeline that you need to move out.